Total body weight, muscle contributes what percentage of our total body weight? Our total body weight contributed by muscle is 42%. 42% contributes of our total body weight, but muscle contributes 42%, right? And we know the characteristics of the cell. One of the characteristics of cell is contractility. Cell contract correct. This contractility is expressed in highly specialized form in muscle. Now, the energy liberated, when there is movement, energy is liberated. Now, this energy, 20% of this energy is expressed as work. When muscle moves, energy is liberated, and 20% of this energy is expressed as work, and the rest, what is the 80% of the energy is expressed as heat of the body, right? Now, when body, you have experienced this you have this experience when body cools down, then to raise the temperature, what happens? Shivering. Muscle shivers. So to raise the temperature of the body, then muscle shivers, right? Muscle has been divided into three groups: or voluntary muscle, unstriped or smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Voluntary muscle, striped muscle, when you see under microscope, you will see cross striations. That is called striated muscle, or striped muscle same. Or voluntary muscle, it is also called skeletal muscle, as it is attached to the skeleton. So it is expressed in various names: striated muscle, striped muscle, voluntary muscle, and skeletal muscles. All are same. Now, this voluntary muscle is supplied by spinal nerve. They are supplied by spinal nerve, right? And involuntary muscle, it is voluntary muscle. Why it is voluntary? Because it is under our control, under our will. But this naming is not entirely satisfactory. There are some muscles which are striated, but they are not under our control, entirely under our control. What are these muscles? What are these muscles? Number one is muscles of the diaphragm, muscles of the pharynx. They are not entirely voluntary. So here it is not, this definition is not satisfactory. Now come to the striated muscle, unstriated but smooth muscles. Smooth muscles, now this is striated muscle actually related to, this is striated muscle, actually it is related to external environment. It is related to our external environment. And unstriated muscle or smooth muscle, that is supplied by autonomic nervous system. They are not under our will, under our control, right? Now, this is smooth muscles actually related to our internal environment. It provides energy for digestion, then excretion, then blood pressure, all are related to the unstriated or smooth muscles, right? Now, cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscle will be separated in separated topic. Now, we will today our discussion should be confined to skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle has been divided into, there is many classifications. According to number one, you have already acquainted with this term insertion and origin. What is called insertion? What is called origin of the muscle? এটা তো পড়েছিস। What is called insertion of the muscle and what is called origin? Origin and insertion of the muscle, actually muscle attachment, which attachment is less mobile, it is called origin, and the attachment which is more mobile, it is called insertion. But you should not be, there are some muscles, the reverse can be done. Origin can be mobile and insertion is static. So you should not be, you should not give much importance to this origin and insertion. If you are confused which end is the origin and which end is insertion, there you should use attachment. There you should use the term attachment. You should not specify origin or insertion, right? You should simply say this is the attachment of the muscle. In case of limb muscle, generally the proximal attachment is called origin and distal attachment is called insertion. Now this is the about insertion and origin. Now another classification as per color of the muscle. As per color of the muscle, there is red muscle and white muscle. What is called red muscle and what is called white muscle? Red muscle generally contains, why it is red? Because it contains, why red? Blood supply is more, but why it is red? Because of
red muscle fiber.
Why it is red? Which pigment is present? That's why it is red. Myoglobin. Because of the myoglobin, it is red. It is actually more primitive. This muscle is more primitive. This muscle responds to stimulus slowly. This muscle responds to stimulus slowly, but its contraction is longer. Whereas the white muscle, where it rapidly responds to stimulus, but their contraction is less sustained. These red muscles generally our postural muscles, which actually maintains our posture. যেমন back muscles of the trunk, deep muscles of our limbs, they are actually red muscles, and superficial muscles, they are actually white muscles, right? Actually this red muscle, their mitochondria is abundant, but in case of white muscle, sarcoplasmic reticulum, T system, they are abundant. They are actually aerobic. Red muscle is aerobic, their metabolism is aerobic, and white muscles anaerobic. Glycolytic pathway or oxidative pathway is the red muscle. So these are some difference of the red and white muscle. Now there are some muscles whose range of movement is more, but the power of contraction is less. There are some muscles whose range of movement is more, but power of contraction is less. Give an example. You already know the name of this muscle. Which muscle can produce more range of movement, but they are not so powerful. একটা মাসেল নাম্বার দেখি। This muscle generally, which causes range of movement is more, that muscle origin is generally their origin is away from the joint and their insertion is near the joint. এবার বলতে পারবি? Actually, those muscles which causes more range of movement, but they are less powerful contraction, their origin is away from the joint, insertion near the joint. Brachialis muscle. Brachialis muscle just near the elbow joint. So this movement অনেকটা রেঞ্জ অফ মুভমেন্ট বেশি, কিন্তু এতটাই না আর কি, বুঝতে পারলি? I am coming to there is another term, spark muscles and shunt muscles. One is brachialis and one is brachioradialis. Here you see the brachius muscle insertion near the elbow joint. When this muscle is contracting, if we divide this contraction force into vector analysis, it is resolved into vertical axis and horizontal axis. This is the vector. This is the pull. This is the pull of the muscle. If we resolve it two components of the vector, one is vertical and one is transverse. Transverse means across the joint, along the shaft of the bone, and this is the vertical axis. Vertical axis actually causes the angular movement. This force will act as angular movement. Angular means flexion, and this force which is acting along the bones, they will actually stabilize the joint. They will stabilize the joint. ধর এইরকম ভাবে কাজ করছে along the joint. So they will stabilize the joint. When the vertical axis will be more, then this muscle will be called as a spurt muscle. Spurt muscle. So here brachialis is the spurt muscle, and when this component of the vector, horizontal component of the vector, when will be more than the vertical component, then that muscle is known as shunt muscle. Shunt. Here brachioradialis is shunt muscle, and this muscle is a spurt muscle. বুঝতে পারলি দুটো জিনিসটা? বোঝা গেছে? শান্ট অ্যান্ড স্পার্ট মাসল কাকে বলে? If the pool of contraction is resolved into two components of a vector, one is vertical component, one is transverse component. Vertical component actually acts on the angular movement, and horizontal component actually acts along the bones, and it stabilizes the joint. জয়েন্টের উপরে কাজ করছে এটা, আর এটা হচ্ছে মাসলের মুভমেন্টের, যেটা দেখবি নিয়ার দ্য জয়েন্ট। আমি আগেই বলেছিলাম, when one muscle is inserted near the joint, range of movement is more. যার range of movement is more, তার সেটা স্পার্ট মাসল। এখানে ব্রেকিয়ালিস স্পার্ট মাসল, আর এর রেঞ্জ অফ মুভমেন্ট, ব্রেকিয়ালিসের রেঞ্জ অফ মুভমেন্ট কম। That's why this component of the vector is less and this component is more. This component actually stabilizes the joint. That muscle is called shunt muscle. Shunting বল না, শান্টিং। ট্রেনের শান্টিং বুঝিস না, সেটা শান্টিং করা যেমন, তাহলে এটা শান্টিং করছে, ধরে এই দুটো জয়েন্টকে শান্টিং করছে, তাহলে শান্ট মাসল অ্যান্ড স্পার্ট মাসল। Sometimes you may be asked this question, shunt and spurt muscle. ক্লিয়ার হয়েছে? মাসলের it has been named in various ways. Suppose some muscles are superficially arranged, we call it superficialis. যেমন তোরা এখন flexor digitorum superficialis, as it is superficially situated, so it is known as flexor digitorum superficialis. There are some muscles which is deep, profundus, flexor digitorum profundus, right? তাহলে superficial deep, according to the volume of the muscle, some muscle is called some muscle volume is more, that is called major, teres major, যা ভলিউম কম teres minor, বা maximus minimus, gluteus maximus, gluteus minimus, gluteus medius, in between maximus and minimus. So according to attachment, it has been named. Suppose one muscle is coracobrachialis, you have heard the name, coracoid process, and brachium means humerus, so brachioradialis, it has been named according to the attachment, right? Some muscle is origin, double head of origin, double head of origin, যেমন biceps, two heads of origin, that's why biceps. If there is three head of origin, triceps. If there is four head of origin, quadriceps, right? So these are the naming of the muscles. বুঝতে পারলি তো? এবার according to the direction of the fiber, unipinnate muscle, parallel muscle, bipinnate muscle, multipinnate muscle. Parallel muscles mean whose fibers are parallelly arranged. Parallel fibers, one is parallel. Number parallel muscles se number to dekhe. Do you know the parallel muscles? Name and one example or two examples. Parallel muscles whose fibers are parallel. এখন ওখানে আসিস নি তোরা, এখানে যে সমস্ত মাসল আছে, rectus abdominis বলে একটা মাসল আছে। There is a muscle within the rectum, anterior-abdominal wall rectum, that is called rectus abdominis. There is parallel muscles. Sartorius, there is a muscle in the lower limb, you will get when dissect the lower limb, that is called sartorius. Their fiber is parallel, so parallel muscles. Pinnate muscles which they are also parallel, but they make some angle. They are not. Suppose this is the muscle, this is the bone, this is the tendon. The muscle is connected like this. Here they are parallel, but is making some angle with the tendon. This is called unipinnate muscle, unidirection. If there is both directions, suppose another tendon is here. This is another bones, and like this. This is called bipinnate muscle. It is called bipinnate. You have already heard the name of this muscle. What is it is present on the hand. What is that? It is between the two metacarpal. Interosseous. Osseous means bone. In between two bones called interosseous. The dorsal interosseous is actually, it is the bipinnate muscle. Dorsal interosseous, actually it is the bipinnate muscle. This is the bipinnate. Dorsal interosseous. dorsal interosseous. Parallel muscles, it is rectus abdominis. Rectus abdominis. Now multipennate. Multipennate. Huh? Pennate. Okay. Tenoid. Pennate. Pennate. P-N-A-T, pennate. And a bipennate. 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 When there be one single, those only pennate. Pennate. Now multipennate. Multipennate means more than two. Here you see one tendon, here another tendon, another tendon. And the multipennate. Multipennate. One example of multipennate muscle. You already know the name, multipennate muscle. Multipennate muscle. It is the deltoid muscle. But if you say deltoid, answer will not be complete, because deltoid has got only multipennate fiber, which is taking origin from the acromial process. Acromial process. So acromial fiber is actually multipennate. Baki gulo na. Multipennate muscle. Acromial fiber of bicep, deltoid. Acromial fiber fibers of deltoid. They are multipennate, right? Circumpennate. One is circumpennate. 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 Circumpennate, there will be a central tendon. Here you see there is a central tendon and muscle like this. What is the name of this muscle? Circumpennate. Circumpennate muscle. There is a central tendon and all around there is a fiber of muscle that is circumpennate. It is found in tibialis anterior. You will find it in lower limb dissection. Tibialis anterior muscle. Multipennate. Circumpennate or multipennate? Circumpennate. Circumpennate, not multipennate. Circumpennate. Circumpennate. Tibialis anterior. Right. Actually, one muscle has got two parts, you know. At a muscle, দুটো part আছে. Muscle, actually, this muscle term from where it has come? This is Latin term, it has come from musculus. Musculus means little mouse. Actually, some muscle resembles a rat. Flesh, মানে belly and long tendon, it is tail. You have seen that muscle in upper limb dissection. What is the name of that muscle? Long tendon and short muscle belly. Here, very important muscle. You will be asked in ID. What is the name? Palmaris longus. You have seen palmaris longus muscle. Very important muscle. Why it is important? Because palmaris longus is the tendon. There you will get one important nerve. Actually, near the palmaris longus tendon, one important nerve. Very important nerve, that is median nerve. Median nerve. Median nerve. Median nerve, actually it passes deep to the reticulum, flexor reticulum or superficial to the flexor reticulum. One important question may be asked, this median nerve, whether it passes deep to the flexor retinaculum or superficial to the flexor retinaculum. What is retinaculum? First of all, you should know the retinaculum. Retinaculum is the condensation of the deep fascia. You have already seen the deep fascia. That deep fascia near the wrist joint, they become condensed to form reticulum. What is the function of the reticulum? Here there is reticulum. What is the function? Reticulum function क्या है? Follow. It is general knowledge. There are so many tendons passing to the digit, and this reticulum, what function it does? If that reticulum was not present, what will happen? During contraction, all tendon will stand out. সব দাঁড়িয়ে যাবে পরে। Because of this reticulum, it confined. এখানে confined থাকছে, আটকে রাখছে। বুঝতে পারলি? না থাকলে তো সবগুলো উপরে ছড়িয়ে যেত কন্ট্রাকশন করলে। Now, মাসেলের তাহলে দুটো ইয়ে আছে, একটা হচ্ছে তোর অ্যাকচুয়ালি মাসেল বেলি অ্যান্ড টেন্ডন। Out of this, what is the difference between muscle belly and tendon? Muscle is contractile. Tendon is not contractile. Right? Muscle cannot withstand pressure. Muscle কোনদিন প্রেসার সহ্য করতে পারে না। যেখানে if a muscle is subjected to pressure, what will happen? That muscle will be converted into tendon or aponeurosis. Aponeurosis is a flat, tendon is a round. They are same composition. So when muscle will be subjected to pressure, because it cannot withstand pressure, so there you will get, where there is pressure between hard structure and there the muscle will be converted into aponeurosis or tendon. If tendon is under pressure, then what will happen? Tendon যদি আবার প্রেসারে চলে আসে, then you will get bursa. There will be bursa between the bone and the tendon. Where there is frequent friction between the tendon and the bone, there you will get bursa. বুঝতে পারলি? তাহলে muscle is contractile, but and cannot withstand pressure, and tendon can withstand pressure. Tendon is not contractile. Tendon কতটা ফোর্স নিতে পারে? Tendon how much force it can take? বল কত নিতে পারে? Tendon নিতে পারে, if a tendon is inserted 1 square inch area, if bones এর 1 square inch area যদি একটা tendon inserted থাকে, that can withstand pressure 9,000 থেকে 18,000 pound. এতটা যদি তুই পাউন্ড দিস, ছিড়বে না। দেখবি একটা পুরো ছাগল ঝুলানো থাকে, ওদের টেন্ডনে বেঁধে একটা ছাগল ঝুলিয়ে রেখে দিচ্ছিস তো, দেখেছিস? ছাগলের দোকানে কোনো গেছিস, ঝোলানো থাকে টেন্ডন দিয়ে, মানে এতটা প্রেশার ইট ক্যান টেক। 9,000 থেকে 18,000 pound, 1 square inch insertion of the tendon, sometimes due to sudden contraction of the muscle, bones may fracture but tendon will not be torn. টেন্ডন ছিঁড়বে না কিন্তু বোন ফ্র্যাকচার হতে পারে, এত স্ট্রং টেন্ডন, বুঝতে পারলি? নাও so according to the direction of the muscle fiber, we have now another classification is cruciate muscle. Cruciate muscles. Cruciate means cross. There are some muscles which actually arrange in a cruciate manner. That muscle is, here you will get one muscle that is called, actually you for the time being you try to remember, that is the masseter muscle. Here it is actually arranged in two direction, cruciate, right? Cruciate muscle. এটা হচ্ছে তোর masseter. Masseter. So muscle has been divided into many ways.